Spider-Man's got a brand new suit and it's called the Flex suit. The Flex suit is kind of like a symbiote suit. It can absorb weapons and matter like this. This guy named Xanto Starblood has been experimenting and pushing Peter over to his limits. Now Peter is stronger than 99.9% of humans. He's got some big upgrades now. Xanto has had aliens as prisoners, including Rocket right here. And is that a Venom symbiote? What? But first, we have to talk about what's going on Earth with two different Spider-Man, or I should say one Peter Parker, one Spider-Man. This is the brand new Amazing Spider-Man issue 11. I hope you guys enjoyed the short video. Now we got the full-fledged video. Let's get into this. Long ago in the simpler times, we see Peter Parker as a child in preschool, and he's wearing his Captain America suit, showing around like, hey, I'm Captain America. I don't need to take my clothes off. Aunt May is remembering this from going through her old stuff at her apartment. And it looks like the Aunt May could potentially have a love interest with this guy named Rick over here that keeps saying that Peter Parker is like a drug addict, and I don't really like this character that much at all. Then we see the Peter Parker and a Spider-Man looking at each other on a rooftop. Why are you posing as Peter Parker? Will none of your mind your own freaking business be suffice? Good. Me neither, because the Spider-Man is not responding to this Peter Parker at all. They start fighting each other. Peter Parker tells Spider-Man, you are different. You're stronger than I thought you would be. Who are you? You're fast, strong, agile, but you're not so talkative like the real Peter Parker. But thank God that's a relief, because I doubt you can get his humor. And he shoots like this, like repellent blast at Peter Parker. When Peter Parker gets webbed up by Spider-Man, we find out this version of Peter Parker is actually Chasm or Ben Reilly. What have you done to Peter, Ben Reilly? I don't know when Chasm was able to shapeshift, but now he's back into this purple form that we knew from Dark Web. We know that Chasm is very chaotic when he's fighting against his opponents, and he decided to destroy this chimney while Spider-Man had to web all of it up to make sure it doesn't follow these people, and the Spider-Man dips out of there. Crap, I'm an idiot. Why did I do that? Lucky at least today, he might not be the spider, but at least he's got his eye on the prize though. Back in Harlem though, we actually see Tombstone talking with Shocker, because Shocker's hands and his body is pretty broken down. He won't be able to fight back for at least a couple weeks. This is when Hobgoblin shows up, and Hobgoblin right now, in the law perspective, he's being sued by Norman Osborn, but Spider-Man is trying to figure out what his whole plan is with that whole drug thing from the first arc. He comes to Tombstone, by the way, with his new wings, asking for a treaty. Like, hey, I won't scratch your back if you won't scratch mine. Deal? Of course, Tombstone declines. Before Tombstone walks away though, he's like, good luck getting your ass handed to in court. I'm like, yo, that's insane. Don't say I didn't try, but I'll see you in the future, Tombstone. We pick up with Ben Reilly and Felicia, and they're at this bar meeting up with Hallows Eve. Yes, that's Janice. Sorry, I should say Janie, because that is literally Hallows Eve. Felicia keeps asking questions to Ben Reilly about Peter, like, where is Peter Parker at? And how do you know he's safe? And Ben Reilly replies saying, it's just a clone thing. With the whole 7 deaths of Spider-Man, every time he died, I felt it, which is kind of interesting to think about. I'm sure he's not dead, and we both know how big of a stubborn bitch he is. The question isn't where is he, it's why he hasn't come back yet. And Felicia's like, touche, but listen, if I need to call you, I'll text you or call you. This is when we find out that the Spider-Man goes to a specific building and starts narrating, hey, Spider-Man, I'm going to keep your legacy on because this is something that you would want me to do. And Norman Osborn is Spider-Man. I'm indifferent about this because Norman has been having this, like, I guess, progression of the character going from villain to hero. I kind of wish it was Kane though. Like, where's Kane been? Last time we saw Kane was literally back in that whole crossover book with Chasm. At the end of this story, we see this character right here, which I have no idea who this is, spying on Norman Osborn as Spider-Man. So I'm assuming this person is either working for Tombstone or Hobgoblin. Very interesting though. Let's see what's going on with Peter. The real Peter Parker Spider-Man. Right now, Peter Parker Spider-Man is on a remote planet and he says, all I see is darkness and rock and I'm just trying to survive. I register cold, but I feel nothing. I still feel pain though. He randomly kills this rat for substance because he can't find any food. And by the way, his suit's torn and destroyed. Only got his pants left. We find out what happened to him after the Hellgate situation weeks ago, where he's on this planet trying to find some water, food, or anything. And he decides to grow a big ass beard. Then again, he can't shave. Currently, after the whole cave situation, he walks out in the middle of the desert, but he falls on the ground, knocked out. Prince of Steel Silk, you are not done. And somebody retrieves Spider-Man. Weeks later, on this ship called the Beacon, we see Spider-Man with a brand new suit. Kind of looks like the Future Foundation suit. That's when we meet up with Xanto in his brand new flex suit. Spider-Man is holding that big equipment. He's like, I thought this was supposed to be heavy. He turns on the gravity. Xanto was just messing with them. And Spider-Man's like, hey, you got any human resources, man, or HR? Like, come on, you can't be doing this to me. Haha, Peter, my boy. We don't have humans on the place we or I come from. And I guess Xanto picked up Spider-Man on the remote planet, and Peter's been testing with them because he is a scientist overall. Both of them are. And they're just going through experiments on around the galaxy, which is very interesting. And I love the scientific aspect of Peter. Any notable data from your efforts? Nope, not at all, Xanto, not at all. You sound disappointing considering the fact of the state I found you in. And Peter's like, I know. I'm just hoping to be better. And I'm assuming they're going over Peter's stats, like his strength, durability, and his speed. They take a lunch break on this picnic area inside the ship. And I'm like, yo, this place looks dope. Even Peter says, this is what I thought heaven would be like when I was a kid. Hey, Peter, I understand this food is not pizza, but I hope it would suffice you. You know what pizza is, Xanto? And Xanto's like, yeah, I'm a man of culture. Ever since Peter was a little boy, he always wondered if he ever got abducted by aliens and went into space, including when he used to get bedtime stories from Aunt May. Xanto's like, do you miss New York? And Spider-Man's like, no, I love Planet X, when I can just, feast on this weird salad kelp stuff. Like I said earlier, Peter has been going through a transformation on his body and has been pushing himself ever since the Hellgate situation and what happened on that random ass planet. Xanto, though, mentions what's been happening inside of the Imperial book, which is a nice nod because the universe or the galaxy right now is not like peace or calm. Spider-Man has flashbacks when he was getting punched in the face by Hellgate, telling him, get stronger, Peter. After that testing, Spider-Man feels like he's plateaued. He's not gotten stronger at all. And Xanto was like, listen, you're stronger than like 99.9% of your species. You should be proud of that. But they will keep trying to test Peter and push him over his limits. Peter walks around the whole facility, right? And he gets bored because usually at this time he swings around New York or Queens, and he goes into the shipping area that he's never been to. And he's like, I'm going to clean this place up for Xanto for all the stuff he's been helping me with. He finds pods and pods of all of these aliens being abducted and imprisoned. Sigh. Shame on me for procrastinating, but Peter, you're not supposed to see this. You said you don't experiment on non-sentient creatures. What is this, Xanto? I like you, Peter. Let's just go upstairs and talk like scientists. We don't have to get into trouble. Spider-Man goes for a punch. Let them out, Xanto! Peter, pets get beds. Animals get cages. Choose the pet. Spider-Man doesn't listen and he drop kicks him right in the face. I found you quivering shell on the verge of death. Your only drive was survival. Where was the dignity in this so-called life? Spider-Man is running away from Xanto with this big-ass rifle he's got in his hands. I have no idea. It's like a plasma cannon. Peter then finds Xanto's flex suit. And I'm like, yo, this is badass. I hope Peter keeps it. Spider-Man does say that it feels like he's wearing armor, but also not. Like a silk suit. Xanto blasts him. I programmed the interior of the flex suit, Peter, so it feels like a silk suit. And Spider-Man's like, yeah, feels great, man. Oh. Before Spider-Man was gonna get blasted, he uses whatever this flex suit is on the weapon that Xanto has and absorbs it. And punches him, knocking out with one punch. I'm like, Spider-Man is no joke right now. He's gotten a huge upgrade. At the end, after Xanto was knocked out, he releases all the prisoners inside the cages, and one of them is freaking Rocket Raccoon. Is this where he went after the whole Phoenix and Nova situation? Like, what? Is that a symbiote too? Like a baby shark symbiote? I have no idea. But man, Joe Kelly's cooking here. I absolutely love what Spider-Man is going through.